Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about how our triggers are really there to teach us how to love or to teach us how to love better. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video weekly. Sometimes in this world, we will operate under, if I just didn't have this going on, or if I just didn't have that going on, and we think that we shouldn't be dealing with anything difficult. And if we could just eradicate all of the challenges, then we would be where we want to be. But if you really think about it, that forces us to live our life in a shoebox, right? Because we're not working through what challenges us and getting to the other side. We're just putting all these limitations around us to try to stay comfortable that inevitably end up shrinking our world until it's so small we can't even leave the house type of thing. And of course, I'm exaggerating a bit in that, but the answer to our triggers is to transmute them and to move through them in a way where we get to the other side and we see that, oh, as I've worked through this, I feel much lighter, I feel much softer, I feel much more open, less judgmental, more loving inside of myself. So this is a topic that I'm really excited and passionate in teaching women around, and I hope this video supports you in your personal process too. Number one, where do your fears lead to attempts to control? Because this is such a big one that's been kind of like normalized in our world, so we don't always see it. And I see it very clearly in my interactions in my own life. But it started off very fuzzy for me, where I would quickly insert a control mechanism or a pattern rooted in, just not wanting to feel fear, right? Or not liking to hear what the other person was saying, so quickly trying to shut it down. And instead, staying curious and staying open to where I'm being asked to surrender or let go on a deeper level, or to trust, right? And this can be related to just trusting in God, source, universe, anything sort of more spiritual, where you're asked to have a bigger faith in something more purposeful or bigger than yourself, where you trust that you're going to be held and that you're going to be supported, or you're trying to do all those things yourself. And as a result, you end up constantly trying to manage everything that's going on around you, to find that you are a much more depleted, exhausted, lower quality version of yourself. And so it's about slowing down enough to see where you are trying to control something that is ultimately not yours to control, and where you're being asked to trust and surrender what isn't yours on a deeper level. Number two, how are you sourcing your safety? Is your safety being self-sourced, or is it being outsourced? I'll feel safe if all of these conditions are being met, or I'll be safe if my guy does this, or if he never leaves me. This leaves us in a constant state of low level or high level anxiety, because ultimately we have no control over that. But if we are self-sourced, we are working on giving ourselves the things that we need to be safe, which is a lot of inner child work, right? A lot of reparenting. So maybe you have a fear of abandonment, or a fear of fitting in with others, a lack of belonging. You don't have a lot of confidence or high regard for yourself. So you see these parts and you're meeting them now. So maybe where is that inner mother being asked to love the little girl that, interpreted something in a very short-sighted way, and she's held on to it for years? Or where do you need to have stronger boundaries, where that inner father needs to come up and hold space for you and protect you from something that isn't for your highest good? And so we start to look at the parts of ourselves that need to show up for that emotional little kid that lives inside of all of us, that needs a sense of safety, but no longer needs to look at it from caregivers or from our loved ones, but from self, because now we're grown. And these are qualities in which we can now give to ourselves and that come from bringing out that inner parent that lives within us all. Number 3, notice where we cave to our fears, our wounds, and our not enoughness, and being able to look for where that hook kind of got generated. Where did that start? And it doesn't mean that you have to really dissect, oh my gosh, I need revealed to me the day this, took shape in me. But sometimes it's more like, when did I really start to feed and fuel this belief system? I have that in different areas of life where maybe a fear got instilled as a young girl, and it kind of hooked me into certain patterns that now no longer serve me as an adult. And so being able to look at those parts of myself and say, okay, yeah, at the time I did this, this, and this, but now I could do this, this, and this with the level of understanding that I'm now in. And so this is how we really begin to sort of carve out new neural pathways in our minds, because we're opening ourselves up to a new possibility. And as we feed that new possibility, the old way dies out and the new way takes shape. And so over time, we automate this. It becomes automated. So what once felt so hard, like, oh my gosh, I'm so used to doing this, but I'm really having to take all of my energy to do this. The more you make up-leveled choices, the more it automates and becomes your natural way. And this is really beautiful. So over time, what once felt so hard will eventually take less and less energy from you, because it will become the way and you won't even have to think about it. And this is the beauty of supporting that ego work that we can all do, because instead of looking at it from this really dark and heavy and sad perspective, we start to say, that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to go about it this way. And maybe it doesn't feel that way in the beginning, but over time it will. And then when we look at our lives and see where we're standing now, we begin to see all of the growth and the beauty and the opening that has truly occurred through just these little micro shifts and micro practices that we pause to honor. So I would love to hear how this supports you along your path and anything that's going on in your life right now. I really love your comments and feedback. And if you would like to just take a deeper dive with me into a lot of my teachings, I have my group waitlist back up, and we are going to be running the 8-week course of Rediscovering Your Feminine Essence. Please sign up below to receive a special gift, early bird pricing, and to be the first notified to sign up. Much love, and see you next week.